A missing court file, a southern Indiana mayor, and sex abuse allegations that have been a mystery until now.
Jeffersonville Mayor Mike Moore says that claims he molested a young girl in the 1980s are unfounded, a byproduct of a messy divorce.
Now, a Wave 3 troubleshooter investigation uncovered new details about this case that have not come to light. And Eric, you found out some of these court documents were kept from the public eye for years.
Janelle, not only were the molestation claims investigated by Indiana State Police, records reveal they were substantiated by state social workers after Moore failed a polygraph test. But no one ever knew because the court file disappeared.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I need to have you help me understand this sex abuse investigation. Jeffersonville Mayor Mike Moore does not want to talk about what's in this court file. The file from Moore's 1985 divorce contains allegations he sexually molested a 2.5-year-old girl that same year. Allegations that first surfaced in 2010 when this Indiana State Police report was mailed out to voters by a political action committee during Moore's run for county commissioner. At the time, Moore told the local newspaper the allegations were drummed up by his ex-wife. It was unfounded, Moore said of the child molestation claim, and nothing came of it. Nothing came of the story either, in large part because no one could find the ISP report or the supporting documents that went with it. But we did, locked away in the Clark County Clerk's office, and we discovered there was more to all this than the mayor led voters to believe. Inside that court file, we found this report from the Indiana State Department of Public Welfare. It substantiated the sexual abuse of the child, which is too graphic to depict on television. CPS defines substantiate as enough facts to prove that there is a preponderance of the evidence, over 51%, that child abuse and neglect has occurred. The CPS report says Moore denied wrongdoing and asked to take a lie detector test, which he failed 3 times. Whatever happened left the girl traumatized, according to this psychological evaluation we also discovered in the court file. She would eventually be diagnosed with signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. CPS called in the Indiana State Police, and they launched an investigation. As is customary, troopers turned their findings over to the Clark County Prosecutor's Office so they could decide whether Mike Moore would face criminal charges. But the case never went any further, according to Clark County Deputy Prosecutor Jeremy Moe.
We checked through our records of things that we do have. We don't have a report on this.
The reason? Our investigation uncovered then Deputy Prosecutor Thomas O'Brien decided not to file a single criminal charge stemming from the alleged sexual abuse. We wanted to know why.
Thomas J. O'Brien is licensed in Indiana and...
So we tracked down O'Brien, now a private attorney in Lafayette, Indiana. He told us he doesn't remember Moore's case, but he said just because CPS substantiates abuse, it does not always lead to prosecution. We asked O'Brien to explain, but he wouldn't. Why did you fail a polygraph test if nothing happened? Noting that Moore was never arrested and no charges filed, the local paper called the 2010 distribution of Moore's state police report dirty politics, and Moore went on to win the election. The paper also reported ISP's investigative report, the one mailed out to voters, had mysteriously disappeared from Moore's divorce file. Now, we've uncovered it was the whole file that disappeared.
It was misplaced, I'll say that. It was not in the file room where files usually are.
Our investigation revealed that, unknown to Clark County Clerk Barbara Haas, Moore's divorce file was abruptly transferred to Washington County after the ISP report went public. The file ended up in the hands of a special judge who was assigned to rule on Moore's request that documents relating to his sex abuse investigation be made confidential, hidden from public view. The judge denied that motion, but the divorce file floated between Washington County and Clark County for almost 1.5 years before it was finally handed back to the Clark County clerk in September of 2011, where it sat untouched until we started digging. Don't you have anything to say about this?
It was set 30 years ago.
Yesterday, Mayor Moore sent us this additional statement. These allegations were found to be false in my divorce nearly 30 years ago and have nothing whatsoever to do with the business of the city of Jeffersonville, which will remain my focus. I will have no further comment. The mayor's ex-wife is now suing the Clark County clerk for failing to maintain the security of the divorce file, as well as the political action committee that mailed out the ISP report. The mayor has actually been named as a witness in that lawsuit. The mother of the alleged abuse victim declined to speak on camera, but told me she remains upset no charges were ever filed in the case. She also says for whatever reason, nobody from the Clark County Prosecutor's office ever talked to her or questioned her daughter before making the decision not to file any charges. We have a lot more on this story on our website, wave3.com.
That daughter